Hello traders, Rich here, and here's a quick but detailed update on EURUSD. As usual, if you like video analysis, let me know in the comments or simply leave a like. So let's get started. After rejecting this previous support zone, EURUSD has been stuck inside this range, and we are currently approaching the upper bound of the range, which is also the previous major swing lows and highs. That's why we'll be looking for sell setups on lower time frames, of course, unless it's broken upward. In this case, a movement till this resistance, which is a weekly and daily resistance, would be expected. We'll be also looking for sell setups unless we break it upward. In this case, a movement higher would be expected. But for now, let's take it step by step. As I always say, retesting the structure, we'll be looking for sell setups on lower time frames. If we zoom into H4 time frame, we can see that we have been trading inside this megaphone pattern and now approaching the upper bound, which acts as an overbought zone, lining up with this previous daily swing low and high. If we zoom in lower, we have this impulse movement, which is engulfed by this channel. If we zoom into M30, we can see that previously we have been trading inside this megaphone pattern. The bears took over, the bulls took over, bears took over, and so on. And now we'll be following the same logic, just like previously here and here as well, while waiting for the bears to take over by breaking below the previous swing low, because we are around a resistance and the upper bound of this megaphone pattern. For now, this is the previous major swing low, so I would like to see a break below it and below this lower trend line that might be holding the price up, acting as a minor non-horizontal support. So long story short, I'm waiting for this to happen. Once we have this break, I'll be going for a short position, stop loss above the previous swing high, and we target a 1 to 2 risk to reward ratio to have an edge over the market from a risk management perspective. Of course, meanwhile, as always, until this sell is activated, EURUSD can still trade higher and higher, just like previously, and before breaking below the low, unless of course we break above this gray zone that we saw from daily time frame. In this case, further bullish movement would be expected. Before we continue, I want to tell you about Tickmill. Tickmill is established in 2014 and is one of the leading Forex and CFD brokers with registered users from more than 200 different countries. Tickmill is a no-dealing desk and ECN broker regulated in many countries like the UK, Cyprus, and recently in South Africa. With Tickmill, you can trade a wide range of instruments, starting from Forex to indices, commodities, and even crypto. Most importantly, with very low spreads and trading fees. If you don't have an account yet, make sure to create one using my referral link in the description below to benefit from 5% discounts on your trading fees. And let's continue. As we clearly see, GBPCAD has been stuck inside this range between our support and resistance, and it's currently approaching a resistance zone, previously as support, broken downward, now acting as a resistance. That's why we'll be looking for sell setups on lower time frames, and I insist on the word looking because price can still trade higher inside it before reversing or even take it upward for it to reach the upper or next resistance before trading lower. That's why we zoom into lower time frames and look for extra confirmation. If you zoom into H4 time frame, we can see that lately inside this impulse, we have been trading inside this big rising broadening wedge, and we are around the upper bound acting as a non-horizontal resistance, or also what I consider an overbought zone. So inside this resistance, so we'll be looking for sell setups. Of course, meanwhile, we can still dive inside the zone before we trade lower. If we zoom into H1 or even lower to M30 time frame, we have been lately trading inside this channel, so for the bear to take over as per my trading style, I'll be waiting for a new swing low to form around the lower trend line to consider it valid, and then I'll be selling on its break downward. Once the sell is activated, once we have this break, the stop loss would be above the previous swing high, and we'll target a 1 to 2 risk to reward ratio to have an edge over the market from a risk management perspective. Of course, I'm looking at for sell setups around the resistance. Meanwhile, until the sellers take over, until we see this, GBPCAD can still trade higher and higher before finally we break below the low, which would be our confirmation to short. Best of luck, and I'll see you hopefully on the next one.